Hello and welcome to Kirklees Local TV's weekly wind-up. My name is Milton Brown and the programme aims to be challenging, provocative, funny and engaging. Today, to look at two serious topics is debt at Christmas and staying safe at Christmas. My guests are Jenny Jack from One Good Turn Charity, a Huddersfield local-based charity who provide goods and advice to people that otherwise couldn't afford, and also Wayne Clark, the chair of Christians Against Poverty, and Wayne is also a minister at New North Road Baptist Church. Dr. George Carey, a former Archbishop of Canterbury, stated approximately 14 days ago that Black Friday has finally killed Christmas. George was referring to Black Friday and the melee which ensued in our local high street shops. Has Christmas died and lost itself to corporate greed and big business?
I don't think Christmas has died through Black Friday, because Christmas is what you make of it. Yeah, there is a lot of pressure on people, and increasingly people are getting into debt because they feel they have to spend money they don't have, and that's something that we don't have to do, and what we want to say is Christmas is still alive and kicking. It can be what you make of it.
But it's easy saying we don't have to do it, but we get caught up in the whole ethos of Christmas. I mean, but Black Friday again, I mean, where that term came from, I mean, how could we just adopt it like that? Is this part of the Americanization of the world?
Oh yeah, I'm against the whole idea of Black Friday. I mean, that's been introduced by the retailers because they're not making the money out of Christmas they used to make, so they're cutting prices, and the media have been taken in by this idea of what they've called Black Friday that's been imported from the States and isn't something that really belongs to our culture at all. But that doesn't mean that we have to buy into that. We are still individuals who can make a decision not to spend stupidly at Christmas, but to use Christmas as a time for valuing those that we love and giving gifts that are appropriate that we can afford. That's what we really should be trying to say, I think, at this time of the year.
I think they've adopted it to get rid of their old stock. The stock that they no longer sell, out of date stuff, televisions that they've had in the back for however many months. I got a tablet for my son last year. I went up to a supermarket and used the Black Friday, got myself a tablet. Within 3 months it was broken. So, and I've heard a lot of people that have purchased things on Black Friday and within months they're broken, but they can't take them back because they got them in the sale. So it's all very corporate. It's all very, Christmas is very money based now.
Yeah. So what was it like 25, 30 years ago for Christmas? Has it, what's the differences that you've seen change?
I don't think things have changed enormously. They're just gradually, there's more and more pressure to spend more and more money. I remember when I was a child, we were a family without much money, and Mum used to have one of these big catalogues that you used to get before the internet, and you flick through it, and my mum would say, do you want that and do you want that? And she'd buy them on hire purchase and have to pay for them for the whole of the previous year. But I do remember also there used to be something called a Christmas club that a previous generation would do. They'd pay into this Christmas club a little bit each week from January onwards. So by the time you got to December, you got the money to pay for the Christmas that you wanted. And we're now doing it the other way around. And at the beginning of this year, there were still people who were paying for Christmas from 2012, and I'm sure it will be the same, that you still pay for Christmas a year or two after you've spent it, which isn't the way it should be. And something that the charity I represent is trying to say is that we have to spend within our means. That's the very basic of handling your money well, is knowing how much you can spend, setting your budget and sticking to it. And if you can save through the year, so much the better. There's all sorts of ways you can do that now through different agencies and credit unions, and that's got to be the way forward.
Yeah, but it's really difficult to not spend more than what you have when your siblings and family members are expecting this. And do you have that? You said that your son wanted a tablet last year.
Yeah. I was fortunate at Christmas 30 years ago. My family were fortunate enough to have enough money for Christmas presents. I was only grandchild. But from all that time ago, the only thing that I really remember through all the presents and the Christmas was the £1 in the Christmas pudding. That was like the highlight of Christmas, was whether you got that £1 coin in your Christmas pudding. That was like the highlight. Never mind all the presents. You got your presents, more interested in the boxes.
You got a pound, I got 50 pence.
That was the highlight. My granddad used to hide it in the Christmas pudding, and then whoever got it, it was like, oh yeah, I've got it.
I'm old enough to remember the sixpence in the Christmas pudding.
All right,
Just about.
But what advice would you give to anyone who feels under pressure to spend more than what they have?
First thing is just, it starts in your head, I think. It starts by realising you don't have to buy into this lie that the retailers are selling us.
But how
that the only way to be
don't
happy,
you buy into it though?
Well, it's an attitude of mine that says having stuff doesn't make you happy, and having time with your family is what makes you happy. Yes, show people you love them, but you can do that by making Christmas presents for people, saving it for one really special present, rather than saying I've got to give my 10-year-old 40 presents this Christmas. It's not needed. And it starts by getting into people's minds that idea that Christmas is about love, it's about family, it's about sharing. That's what the origins of Christmas, of Jesus born into poverty. It's not to do with spending money. And we've got to change the mindset of individuals, and through that change our culture, I think.
I had a conversation the other day about where all this like spending system kind of came in, and they kind of blamed it a bit on Margaret Thatcher, that it was all down to keeping up with the Joneses. You needed to have a brand new suite, you needed to have a brand new television, brand new cooker, brand new this, brand new that. It's a build up over the years of a lot of peer pressure and a lot of needing, wanting, and having to have the best of the best. Like, what is it this year? PlayStation 4, they're like £400. It's like, that's like your Christmas budget for everybody, It's trying to keep up with the Joneses. It's getting ridiculous, because in this society now, with the recession, people really struggling with money, and there's still that commercial pressure to make you go out and spend money that you don't have.
Has either one of you provided any advice or worked with anybody who's in debt around Christmas?
That's what we do as CAP Huddersfield, part of the national charity Christians Against Poverty. We're there to help people who are in debt. A major source of poverty these days, yes, it's low income and 0 hours contracts and all the other terrible things, but largely it's people getting into debt. That's what poverty is about largely in our society. And that's what CAP Huddersfield and CAP throughout the country does. We meet people in debt, desperate. Often people come to us as a last resort and say desperate for help. And we have a way through our national organisation of helping people to pay off their debts a little at a time, to live within their means, and to become debt free, which we are seeing increasingly, working with people who are working through our CAP system to become debt free. And that's what we're there for.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see how that whole process of working through them. Do you work with anyone, or have been working with anybody who find themselves in debt at Christmas?
We do. At One Good Term, we constantly deal with people in poverty who are struggling to pay the bills, buy the clothes, put shoes on people's feet, to feed themselves. We're leading up to Christmas. So our Facebook pages, we're filling the pages. We give away hundreds of items every month for free to people who are struggling. As it's the build up to Christmas, we've flooded the auction page, we've flooded the free sites, all with toys, clothes, bric-a-brac, things that we feel someone might want it as a present for somebody. They don't have to know that they've got it from a free site. We've put food hampers onto the free sites as well. People are donating food, so we're building up hampers to help people that are struggling. It exists. People think poverty is a dirty word, but it exists. It exists in Huddersfield, England, everywhere.
Well, that's fantastic to hear what you're both doing, and keep doing the good work. Brilliant. Okay, we're just going to have to take a short break now. If you want to get in contact with Kirklees Local TV, please email info@kirkleeslocaltv.com or search us at Twitter, Weekly Windup. welcome back, and our guest is Jenny Jack from One Good Turn, a charity based in Huddersfield, and also Wayne Clark, who is the chair of Christians Against Poverty and is a minister at New North Road Church. Earlier on, Jenny and Wayne, we talked about debt and being at Christmas, and there's a big thing that people talk about is about staying also safe at Christmas. I think staying safe at any time is really good, but what do you understand about staying safe at Christmas?
Hide your Christmas presents. There are burglars about. I've already heard reports that people have been trying windows, climbing over fences. If you've got Christmas presents in your house, keep them hidden, keep them safe until the very last minute of putting them under your tree, because people do go out there and take advantage that it's Christmas, and you know that people have spent hundreds of pounds and all the presents are in one place and they know scouting exactly how to get in, where the presents are going to be. They're going to be, everything's there under the tree ready and waiting for them. Lock your windows, make sure your doors are locked. Safety at Christmas, make sure your Christmas lights are turned off, don't leave anything plugged in overnight.
Yeah, I suppose that's very important. What Jenny says, that burglary is on the rise at Christmas time, because people are looking for free presents, to be honest, and often they're drug related. And I suppose another aspect of safety at Christmas is drinking. People tend to overindulge. It's interesting how Scotland have recently cut the limits of how much you can drink and drive, so that you can. It's virtually now impossible to have a single drink and legally drive. And I think that's probably a sensible thing for people to adopt in England as well. Why would you take the risk of drinking and driving? Not just the risk of getting caught by the police, but the risk of causing an accident and killing someone. People who have had too much to drink will be wandering into the roads. It's just not worth having too much to drink, having anything to drink if you're going to drive. It's not worth the risk.
Could we raise the profile about staying safe at Christmas more? Could our local authority have done more, or the police?
Yeah, the police do have a very strong drink drive message at Christmas, and I think that's going to be more than ever this year. Which I think the police do a good job, actually, with limited resources, and the local authorities have got no money at all now, have they? So there's not much that they can do because they just don't have the resources. But I think it's to do with communities. It's to do with communities supporting one another, keeping one another safe. A lot of it's down to looking after ourselves and our families and our neighbours.
Yeah. What do you think? Could we do a bit more?
Absolutely. I've not seen anything to prevent, encourage people to be safe at Christmas. I think it's more, you see more commercials and more trying to sell you something than telling you that all these bad things do actually happen at Christmas. You can ruin your life just because you've had a bit too much to drink. People can ruin Christmas, and beyond. People need to realise that it's not just about one day, I'll just take the risk, I'll just go and drive for a little bit. I've had a couple of shandies, but no, don't take the risk.
We're very much on the drink drive, and it's been a campaign for years and years that don't drink and drive. Okay, what do you think is the biggest threat at Christmas? Right, be it for families or mothers, fathers, sisters, brother?
Debt.
Yeah, debt money is certainly the big thing. I suppose the other thing I'd mention is domestic violence increases at Christmas. It's a time when families spend time together, which is always seen as the highlight of Christmas. For some families, it's not. And a lot of women do get physically abused and beaten just because their partners are drunk, or because they're spending more time together than they normally do. The children are getting under their feet. So, I'd just say that's not the way to behave. I'm not here to lecture people, but domestic violence of any kind is not acceptable. And Christmas is the time when, people tend not to be quite themselves, and people who would normally be gentle and peaceful sometimes turn to violence this time of the year, and that's a real issue.
Yeah, just because it's Christmas, it doesn't mean that you have to change your attitude towards your loved ones. You know, Christmas is meant to be about being with your loved ones. It's meant to be about family. You know, it's not about commercial, it's about Jesus. You know, it's about Joseph and Mary taking the long trip on a donkey, you know, and it's about the wise men. It's about a celebration of the birth of a child. It's not about drinking and driving and getting yourself into debt and just doing things that you wouldn't normally do throughout the year. It's meant to be a celebration, a nice celebration. Families get together and just enjoy it with your family and your children and the presents that you've got, and just don't ruin it. You know, there's no need.
Some people are very lonely at Christmas as well. For some people, Christmas is the hardest time of the year. For people who are recently bereaved or still remember a loved one who they miss at Christmas, or just have got no one to share Christmas with. So something we can do is be aware of that. Those of us who are, you know, like me, have a great family Christmas. We need to be aware that there are many people who are lonely, who are sad, who we can reach out to at Christmas time and show them, as Jenny says, the true meaning of Christmas.
What could we do then as a society for those homeless people, those who are in poverty at this time of year? What could we do better than what we haven't done for
our
years
charity?
gone by?
Our charity at the moment, we're in touch with Simon on the Streets, who handle literally homeless people living under Tesco's, you know, living in doorways. So we've offered them clothes so that they can give them to the people. You know, if they're moving into a property, you know, because we usually have some stock left over that doesn't go on the pages, it doesn't go on the charity stall, it doesn't go on the car boot. Right. So we're still left with this stuff that nobody wants. So instead of landfilling it, we've also got in touch with asylum seeker group as well. So we're going to give some, so they're going to have a nice Christmas this year as well.
Excellent, Jenny, yeah. Are you doing anything with regards to homelessness and things like that this Christmas?
Well, Cap Huddersfield provides hampers of food to our clients, to those people who are in debt, so they've got enough to eat and enough to celebrate and some extra goodies for Christmas. But I'd also say the churches in the region also provide all sorts of good things over Christmas. Christmas services, but often around the services there's meals and there's times for getting together with others and celebrating what Christmas is really about.
Okay, final question. What's your highlight of the year and what would you like to see next year?
My highlight of the year was meeting Sophia Crawshaw, the founder of One Good Turn. If I hadn't have met her and asked her to come for an interview on a local radio station, then things this year would have been completely different.
Would you have had more money?
No, because I'm on income support, okay. So I'm struggling like everybody else. But I've got a lot of charity experience and volunteering and charity work. And Sophia started One Good Turn as a little swap shop group, and it's just kind of taken its own wings, and it's mounting its flight, you know, and she's struggling to find good volunteers and good people to step forward to help her move the charity forward. So to be a part of such a fantastic thing at such an early stage, that is my absolute, I've got a tear in my eye. That is Brilliant. The absolute highlight of my life, to help so many people. I just feel like this was my destiny.
I feel that. And what do you want for next year? What do you want for next year?
What do I want for next year? I think Sophia would say a big pot of money to move the charity forward. But I don't know, maybe some good volunteers that can come along and, you know, help us move forward with the charity and you know, keep up the good work and carry on helping those in need, you know, and like One Good Turn deserves another. If we help them, then maybe they might come back round and start helping us to develop it more, because we want one in every town, you see. So we've just moved out to North Kirklees, and next year hopefully we're taking it to Halifax. We've already started putting feelers out for Halifax. So yeah, next year Halifax, conquer Halifax.
Yeah, it's
Wish you all the
inspiring,
best.
isn't it? Yeah, I think,
Anything for you, Wayne?
I think within CAP, Christians Against Poverty, the highlight's been a dozen people who have become debt-free because of the work they've been able to offer and the great work of our project worker Yvette, and seeing people whose lives have been weighed down by debt now being able to live a normal life because debt's no longer part of their life, and persevering to live without debt in the future. And to run our CAP Money courses as well, which advises people in how to stay out of debt, those who are not in debt crisis, but showing them how all of us can live within our means, I think has been an extraordinary privilege, and that's a highlight of this year. And next year, yes, seeing more people become debt-free within CAP. Personally, our work in our church with asylum seekers has been more and more important, and the more asylum seekers coming to our area, the more we hope to be able to help and support.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to 2015.
Excellent.
It's going to be a good year.
Yeah. I'd like to see a serious reduction in poverty. I don't think we're ever going to eradicate poverty. It's a wish of mine to never see poverty again, but to see a serious reduction in poverty. I'd like to see that next year. Okay, well, thank you so much, Wayne and Jenny, for coming in this week to Weekly Wind-Up. And I'm afraid that's all we have for this week. If you'd like to contact us, comment on the show, send us something that with regards to what you might want in the show, please contact us at info@kirkleeslocaltv.com or search Twitter @Weekly Wind-Up. I'm Milton Brown. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you.